We got planes to cash, baby. We ain't got no time for the nonsense. Come on. What up, everybody? You are now tuned into the Doscinco Project, where we talk about business, entertainment, motivation, and mindset. I have a very special guest with us in the building today, and I'm going to be honest with you, man. It's going to be a lot of real talk here, especially for a lot of y'all street dudes, you know what I'm saying? Or people that's trying to get into the hustler game and all of that stuff. I have a special guest that has over 20 rentals. He's buying up Camden like crazy.
Yes.
He has an organization called Al's Camden Rentals,
Yes.
okay? And he's shaking it up, man. He got about 20,000 followers on Instagram, and most likely by the time I drop this,
Yes.
it's going to be probably through the roof. Everybody, please welcome Alex Vazquez. How you doing today, sir?
Yes. Thank you for having me, my
man.
good brother, man. Listen, it's a great time to be alive, as I say, right? It's always
There
a
you
great
go.
time to be alive. We're here learning every day.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And anything I learn, I'm trying to teach every day
Mm-hmm.
and keep my peoples going. You know what I mean? As much information that I get, I want to give it back out,
I
especially
love
to
it.
the city.
I love it, man. And you know, I'm glad we had small talk before we started recording, because I have a full understanding that you was raised in Camden, right?
Yeah. I
You
was
was
definitely
raised in
raised in
Camden.
Camden, man.
The
I got
trenches.
Yeah, which I got so caught up in being in Camden, not understanding the good thing I got there. You know what I mean? The struggle. You know what I mean? Going through bad times. The like I always tell people, I can't be outworked just because where I'm from, right? Because growing up in these bad neighborhoods, like we had to survive, right?
Right.
Somebody that's rich and got it and whatever, they can't outwork me because we already know what's poor is, right?
Exactly.
We already know what's the bottom, and that's why me doing the stuff I'm doing and creating and doing it in social media, I let people know, especially growing up in any hood, you know what I mean, besides Camden, any hood that people grow up in, we already seen the bottom.
Right.
We're like, why can't we risk the go? We already seen what's that.
Exactly.
I'm confused why we get so caught up in the mix. Like, man, I'm scared to invest, or I'm scared to do something different. We already know what's the surface.
Yep.
But damn, man, when you start getting a little more closer to the sky, you're like, oh, this thing, you can go forever. You know what I mean?
Let's talk about that, right? So, number one, just to the audience, this isn't just a real estate guru. We're not even going to put that in there because we know the negative context that comes behind that nowadays, or should I say the negative stigma that comes behind that. You're talking about somebody that literally worked their behinds up. I mean, you're talking about working at what? The Coca-Cola
Coca-Cola,
bottling company.
16 years.
So 16 years. So
Truck
describe
driver.
that, right? So you graduated straight out of high school?
Yeah, so I worked right out of high school. I went to Camden High. Graduated 2001, a long time ago.
Wow.
Yeah, that was with DeWan Wagner. You know, that was a big time as a dad, right? And leaving there, right, knowing that I was the first one to graduate out of my mom, my dad, and my 3 older brothers. I'm the youngest of 4 boys, right?
Okay.
Nobody graduated. You know what I mean? Me growing up was just going to see my brothers in jail. You know what I mean? I remember coming home, being happy they came home, like visiting them, sending them letters, and whatever the case may be. So me graduating was already a big deal.
Wow.
Like that was like it was such a big deal, like for my personal family, because none of us did it, right? So I knew I wanted to do it for my mom, right? Because knowing that she had the 3 older boys that they ain't do it, I'm like, man, my mom gonna be like, you know, she go talk to people back in Puerto Rico, like, man, none of your kids, they all messed up, right? So me doing that, then I had got a little like warehouse job, and everybody still thought I was doing better than everybody else. Oh, that's Al. Look, he's not, you know what I mean, in the streets now. He's working, he's doing what he got to do. But I always tell people, what somebody else good doesn't mean it's your good, right?
Right.
Like somebody be like, oh, you doing amazing. Yeah, I mean, that's great. I am, right? I'm happy.
Yep.
But my ceiling ain't done. Like, I can go higher, but because somebody look at you because they already feel like you doing good enough. Nah, good enough is so bad. It's a bad word. You know what I mean? Oh, you doing good enough. No, I don't want to do good enough. I want to do great. I want to be great.
Yep.
So doing that, working, but I started believing it because then I got a job at Coca-Cola and got my CDLs. It's a big deal working for a corporation like that, and everybody knows me, right? Everybody like, oh man, this guy really doing the right thing. Great job, like pension, 401k. Oh, you doing great. I'm like, this can't be it. Right? I got back pains. I'm sore. I'm working 60, 70 hours a week, missing my kids' softball games. And I'm like, this can't be life, right? Like, and then even knowing that I'm doing better than the next person, oh, you're doing all right. Start believing it. Like, getting caught up in the hype. When I realized there had to be something else, right? I couldn't trade time for money. That was the last. We not trading time for money no more. So when I bought one house in real estate and I started understanding what it was, then that's when I took off.
That's dope, man. So you was working for 16 years, pretty much a 9 to 5 or
5 to 5
or 5 to
it was
5,
crazy.
basically, right? All around the clock, missing your family and things of that sort. But the one good thing that you got out of all of that was you graduated from high school and you were the first in your family, and everybody was proud of that, right?
Extremely happy.
So you technically made it according to their standards,
100%.
right? But for
I was
you,
Hollywood already.
You were Hollywood, right? Time to throw them shades on.
Middle class.
Right. But in your mind, you felt like it wasn't enough.
Nah,
now,
100%.
I'm going to be absolutely honest with you. I was raised in North Philly. It's called Badlands, whatever. Same thing. I always saw something more than that, right? Even though everybody around me, you seen the working man, you seen the drug dealer, you seen this, you seen that, you still was like, yo, this ain't it.
I know.
This ain't it. Now, what made you feel like this wasn't it? Like what gave you that drive? Because you got so many people that are in the neighborhood that just don't have that drive.
Exactly.
So what put it in you?
Exactly, because it's funny you say that because you start thinking you crazy, right? Because you start thinking of things why you think that way and nobody around your circle think that way. Why, like us sitting on the corner and next to the bodega, and I'm like, this shit's getting corny. Right? This is not even, I want to go do something. Let's go make some money or something, right? Like, but people found that regular, which early in the game that I'm like, even working, right? Like I always worked overtime, right? People work 5 days. Understand? Me, I'm like, well, I can work a 6 day. I knew I was more. Like, I had to use that less of working on my body, more of a mental thing. Start changing because I always tell people, being normal is regular. Like I don't want to be a regular person. I ain't come here to be regular. Like we living now. Like we are living now. We're not living yesterday. We're not living tomorrow. We living now. So anytime I could put more energy in that, I can't just be like, all right, do the 9, come out at 5, get a little Netflix or, you know what I mean, show, go to sleep, wake up, do it again. This can't be life.
Yep.
I can't work X amount of hours just to do that. That's a scary life, man.
Yeah.
And we get caught up. Like, it's like somebody working at a job for 30 years, they fucking blink and they wake up and they can't barely walk.
Bro, let's talk about that, right? You just said you was 40 years old, right? Let's just say that we are by far some of the youngest looking 40-years.
Yeah,
I'm not 40 yet,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm
Shout out to that.
there, right?
Shout out to that.
But I will say this, like, think about it, man. Time is going by fast.
No,
Bro, I'm gonna be 38 this year, but I blinked. I was 15. I was 15 yesterday. 38 today. And now my mortality is starting to become more defined because think about you 40. 10 more years, you be 50.
Easy.
Damn near a senior citizen.
Easy, quick.
Right.
Quick.
So you're looking at urgency right now, right? Now, is it urgency for you or is it urgency for, like, let me make as much money as possible for my family so that way I can build those dreams out?
Nah, so, peep game. This is how I look at it, right? So, as kids, 15, 16, we would do stuff for a small value, meaning working for $5 an hour. They'll tell you to do something for a couple dollars. You would do it because your time versus the value of your time ain't expensive at that age, right? The older we get, our time is extremely more expensive because you know now I'm not giving away my kids' time, you know what I mean, my family time for nothing unless it's valuable to me.
Facts.
You know what I mean, that either we create an income, you know what I mean, we building something. Not trading time for money. I am way more expensive, and I think we all should look at it that way. Every time you get older, you should be extremely way more expensive than you was last year because the older we get, like you said, it goes. So now my time is extremely more valuable than it was when I was 15. Right? So when I build now, I got to go harder because my time is worth more. So I'm not going to little things that don't do nothing for me, right? Like I'm not in I'm not investing my time and energy to something that I'm not going to get back. For my loved ones, my close friends, you know what I mean? That's what I want my time for. My family, like, so when I invest, I don't invest for money, and that's just, I invest for my time back.
I was having a conversation with my man's not too long ago, and his brother passed away at 38 years old, right? About 3 years ago. And we just see how fast life goes and how people are here today and literally gone tomorrow, you know? Like, I've known people to die of aneurysms, bro, things that we can't help, a heart attack at like 40 or a heart attack at 35. So did you feel like, you know, I know you experienced also death in your family as well. How did that affect you to the way you do business today?
So me losing one of my brothers in the streets, right? Like, he got killed. I think they was trying to rob him or something like that. That was, 2004? So almost 20 years ago.
How old was he?
He was 20, I think he was going to be 24, 25.
Wow,
so he was
he
still
lived
young.
his life.
But it's crazy because at that age, I mean, he was one of my older brothers, so I thought he was a king. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Especially doing the stuff he was doing in the streets. We thought, seeing that's all we know was kind of like, that's an accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all we all want to be like growing up. But losing him, I got in a bad, you know what I mean, mindset, just continue in the beginning, like, wow, like losing him, like, did I even care about life as much? Like, you know what I mean, caught up in the mix of what I shouldn't be thinking of, right? But now that I think about it now, like, what you're saying, we lose so many people, and how many of us live? Like, how many of us really live the right way? You know what I mean? Like, taking care of our families, like, being a presence, being an asset to our community. Like, that's what gives me joy, man, because I can die. Like, and we lose days, moments, times, just because we get so frustrated and some shit that we can't control, and we lose it. But then we can't get that back. And then we get older and we can lose one or you know what I mean? I know we all have our own feelings, and sometimes we can get upset, and that's cool. Like, I could be upset and I don't want to talk at that moment, but I'm not losing days and I'm not losing moments on stuff that I know that is not that big. It's not that stressful. I'm really focused on living a happy life, right? Extremely with my family, with my people that I got, you know what I mean, love for. Like, I want to enjoy life, because we all talk about that we happy to live, but when we living, we're not even doing nothing.
We just existing.
We just taking room. There's some people in this world that wake up, work, go home, you know what I mean, play their video games, go to sleep, wake up, work. Dog, you just taking space. You're not creative.
Yep.
You're not doing nothing for your community. You're not changing lives. Like, that is powerful to me, right? That's something that I live. I'm extremely believing that powerful thing. Like, I got a homie of mine, I mentioned, like, that's my man now, but on Instagram, I was posting I buy houses. He bought a house. He do real estate on the strength of watching my videos. That's powerful. I'm trying to change, you know what I mean? Like, just how I watch other videos that change me. Yeah. I'm not just here taking space, right? Like, it's a Beyonce song, that song, I Was Here. Like, I love that song. It's a powerful song, meaning when we living now, what are we going to say when we going? And I'm not here to be like, oh, I want somebody paint my picture on the wall. Right. But I want to be able to change somebody's life and better, right? Because growing up in the hood, people kill, they sell drugs. Yep. We hurting.
Yeah,
our
trauma.
Own people.
There's a lot of trauma. Yep.
Why we can't be on the other side of that? Yo, let me pick him up. Yo, that boy was on the street. Yo, you know what? Let me teach you this real estate thing, or let me teach you this stock thing, or that's powerful. That's how we started changing the community. You know what I mean? So me losing my brother, seeing that how fast our community can take away our loved ones, let's start switching that.
No, absolutely. So you working at Coke, right? What made you transition into real estate? Because obviously you got so many options out there, right? Yeah. People want to do crypto. People want to do stocks. People want to sell T-shirts. People want to do, anything, become rappers, whatever. What made you choose the real estate as the lane for you? So
real estate is extremely interesting to me, right? It's the fact of this, right? And this is simple. You don't need a special skill. I think real estate is the average person to be wealthy. That's all it is. It could be you don't gotta go. There's no degrees. right? And that's when I realized we all could be in the same playing field. Doesn't matter how I look, how smart I am. Well, we could play together. Oh, I'm on now, right? I lace my boots up. Real estate is a thing that we can buy something at a certain amount, and every year, history shows, even with the 2008, 2009, 2007, it's forgivable, right? Real estate fixes, right? We all know history shows value goes up.
Yeah, it always appreciates.
Always appreciate. It's not something that I'm making up. I'm not creating the wheel. It's something that always happens. So when you buy a piece of real estate,
even the vacant properties
exactly,
appreciate.
with nothing being done.
Nothing.
You don't have to do nothing. You don't have to fix it. You don't have to clean it. I'm saying we could to make it go higher, but just with time alone, you buy something and it goes up, right? So then when you look at that, then now you're saying you fix it, you put people in there, and then they pay the mortgage. Let's say you get a mortgage on it. So every year the value goes up, the mortgage go down, and every year you're just going like this.
You got all that equity.
Oh, extremely. So you buy one, you get two, you get three.
Yep.
So that's just like playing Monopoly. Like I tell people, and this is a common thing. Like you ever play Monopoly and just roll the dice?
Yep.
Just to go buy two. No, nobody play that way.
Right.
You want to buy.
You want to buy.
Right? Like what's the point of playing Monopoly and just getting the 200? No, anytime I'm landing, boom, let me get that North Carolina. Let me get that. You know what I mean? Because that's it was a game that we didn't understand why we was playing it.
When you got older.
I'm doing that thing in real life, bro.
But you know what the sad reality is? I know you said nobody wants to do that. As far as go around that board and only collect $200, but that's what the everyday working person does.
That's it.
And they paying rent, and they go past, and by the time they reach to the end of that board, they broke again. And then they collect their $200, so living check by check.
And that's what 95% of you know what I mean Americans do that.
But in the game, we want to purchase and we want to rent. I mean, we want to purchase and we want to make those investments. So why don't we take that and put that in real life?
People, I'm great at Monopoly. Really, let's do it in real life. It's not that much difficult.
You know what it is? I think it's a fear factor that something that it's easy to play the game because guess what? You ain't losing nothing.
Exactly.
A lot of people are fearful of the fact that hey, if I put this money down, I might lose it because it's all I got, and they never play the game.
And that's scary. But the great thing about Monopoly, which is worse, the real life is not only one winner. Monopoly, we all can win.
Yep.
I mean, in real life Monopoly, we all can win, right? Me and you play Monopoly. The only way this game is over, I gotta take all your money. Nah, in real life, we can buy buildings together. We can make money and play this real game of Monopoly in real life, and we all winning.
That's so true.
And that's not we not stuck to believe that there's only one winner in Monopoly. Like, look, I just closed on the deal on the contract. I always tell the people, the sellers that we buying, I want two winners, right?
Yep.
I want you to get your number.
Yep.
You know what I mean? At a good, decent. And I want to pay my good number so we both win. It don't got to be a lose-win situation.
Right.
Real estate can be a win-win for everybody. And the more that I learn, the more that I team up with, you know what I mean? I got great partners. I got killers with me, like mental, like mindset killers. Like I think, and there's no losers. And that's the great thing about playing Monopoly. And if we play all in my house, yeah, one of us got to win and all of us going to lose. But in real life Monopoly, we all can win. You want to own Boardwalk? We can own it together. Yep. North Carolina, St. Charles Place, connect, like we can own it together and we all can win. So I think that game was a powerful game, but I think we lost the importance of it as we got older because we start using money for cars and vehicles and stuff that, like, what we doing here?
It's not giving us money back.
Nah.
That's crazy, man. So when did you buy your first property? While working at Coke?
I bought my first property, peep game. So I bought my first property when I was 19, right?
Okay.
Mind you. So I had a job, and I remember I was gonna go rent. So me and my wife was gonna go rent at projects, right? We got accepted. Then I was excited, right? Leaving my mom's crib. Mom was like, "Why you don't try to buy a house?" I'm like, ain't nobody gonna give me no credit. She just try. And I did, and I got approved. And that's what I want to say. So right when we turn 18, just keep your credits good, yo, and apply. Because you could but we all so stuck thinking that we got to rent.
Yep.
We got to rent. We got to buy a nice car. We got to rent. that we could have been buying houses since the beginning.
Absolutely.
Right? So me buying, and that was completely why I'm at where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
Bought that when I was 19. I lived there for a couple years, moved out, and instead of selling it, and that's for like 2006 when the market was extremely at a good, I could have sold it for a good number. I was like, well, I don't keep it, right? Like, I don't know nothing about real estate, but I'm like, man, it makes sense to keep it, and I kept it for 10 years.
Wow.
Collecting a little, you know what I mean? Like, I was paying the mortgage, making a couple $100, but I'm like, man, why if I get 10 of these? Right?
Right.
And I went to the bank, deny me. Yo, can I get a deny me? Which was cool. But I tell people think, oh, it just happened out of nowhere. Oh, man, no, I got denied. But then I was asking questions. What do I need next time? You know what I mean? Oh, but if you do this, your debt to ratio is a little better. All right, well, let me work on that. Come back. So I remember when I got approved, man, to buy my second property, but really my first, when I started getting busy.
Yep.
I was one of the happiest because I'm like, this is it. Oh, this is it, man. And I knew this was going to be my way out of working at a job. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep buying. And then I bought one and I bought another one. Then I remember even my mom was telling me, she was like, you buying this, but you're going to have too much mortgages, right? And she was worried for me, and that's we all get
because she's looking at it from the standpoint where the more you buy, the more you got to pay. But she don't realize that the tenants are paying.
So it's not her fault, right? So it's like we all get stuck in line. I'm like, Mom, I got this, but now I'm like, Mom, I just bought 5. She's like, oh, great, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
because you schooled it to the game.
Exactly. So sometimes we all get people like, oh, but our parents ain't sure. It wasn't their fault.
No, it's only it's the cards they would know.
Yeah, they don't know. I don't hold that against them. Like, look, my peoples came from Puerto Rico. I was actually born in Puerto Rico, but we moved here when I was
What part of Puerto Rico did
San Lorenzo.
Okay.
So I was born there, and I came when I was a kid, like I was 6 months. Like I grew up in Camden. So they tried better, even though my brothers got caught up in the street. They ain't know what part of, you know what I mean? It was the way it turned. But their information on trying to be successful wasn't what I learned, right? They was go to school, get a job, I'm like, nah.
It's the typical program that they give all the society.
And that's what it was. And I started believing it to an extent. I'm like, why do I do my research?
Right.
Why do I don't educate myself? Because I'm not great in reading. I'm not great in spelling. But I can hustle.
And I'm good at math.
Yeah, I'm great at math.
Yeah, especially when it's counting money.
So and that was something that I knew I was always good at. I make it make sense. And I tell people, talk to me like I'm in 5th grade.
Yeah.
Let me understand you. If you got to play, yo, Al got this play. All right, break it down to me. I'm real. Like, if you talk something that makes sense to me, I'm like, oh, okay, I can learn this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Talk to me like a little kid, because I want to break it down so I can get
break it down
you
to
know
basics.
I don't care. Ain't nothing. I don't take nothing personal.
Right.
I'm trying to build. I'm trying to learn. Just like when I talk to somebody, if they don't understand, yo, this is how, you know what I mean? This is how I break it down. This is how it makes sense to me.
Right.
And so doing that.
Now you 20 rentals in?
20,
like over 20?
27, yeah, we buying, man.
Okay, so it's cool buying your first investment property, right? So you living in one property, you have your first investment, you dealing with the tenants there.
Yes.
Okay, then you scale it to like 2, and now you're dealing with 2 tenants here.
Yes.
But you got over 20. How are you dealing with all of these tenants?
I'm dealing with all of them too. I'm my
Are
own
you dealing with all?
property.
So you own property manager too?
Yeah, I run it all.
Man.
I'm the face. Like I tell people, like I'm Al Camden Reynolds in my hood, right? So, but when you rent a property for me, mind you, I'm gonna get better with that, right? I am gonna hire out because now it's starting to get too much, but I like it right now, right? Because it makes sense. Because I'm the face, meaning I'm just a local kid from out here. You know what I'm saying? And I tell my tenants, like I got great tenants that I was just able to be in a position to buy this house. Then I could rent it to you. I'm not no better than you.
Right.
You just in the time that you got to rent till you buy your own personal property. You know
just
what I mean?
Take care of the property while you there.
Yeah, just take care of mine like it's yours, because it is yours. I'm just here to, you know what I mean, you pay the rent, I pay the mortgage, and I'm good with that. I'm not better than none of my tenants. I don't look down. I'm just a kid. Like, I just learned something. But at the same time, with my social media, I'm here on some, let me educate. Let me tell people I'm out here. Yo, what's up? I'm out here in my city. I just bought this property. Y'all, look. This is how it looked before. This is how I got it now. And yo, Al, how you do it? You know, I went to the bank. I approved. You know what I mean? I was able to buy another one. All right, cool. I'm speaking game too, because I don't want I don't want to make money and just go leave the hood, knowing that I invest in the hood, but I can't invest in my own people. I'm not doing that. So now my main thing is educating as I buy, as I show. And there's a lot of haters with people be like, yo, there's a lot of people out here hating. Man, I get way more love than hate.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Just yesterday, you know, I'm just posted up, got me a sandwich, dude. I don't even know homie. He, yo, Al, I got my ACL. Yo, I like what you doing, man. You know what I mean? You from out here, you showing people. And that right there makes everything for me.
And you don't even know him. It's just strictly off
Yo,
social
straight
media.
just off. You know what I mean? He's on the block hustling. I was at the gym the other day, and I was depressed. And I'm working out, and boy stopped me. He was like, yo, man, I like what you doing. And I already knew he probably know me. Then I just got off my funk. I'm like, people really watching.
All right, so let's talk about what you just said there, right? You making money. You got tenants, real good tenants. You got property. You're no longer working the 9 to 5, but yet you still be getting in your funk sometimes. Describe that.
Oh, yeah, man. Mental health for men is extremely important, man. Like people,
what would be the funk for you though?
The funk is everyday living, man. It's just the stress we put on ourselves too, right? Like, and I battled it for years without talking about it. I even my wife took me to the doctor and was like, you know what I mean? I had to speak up on it just because it's a real thing. Like we grew up to be monsters and grown men and hard. And I'm with 3 older brothers, and being soft wasn't in our. We can't be that. We can't be vulnerable.
Yep.
We can't. We gotta be the toughest. We gotta look ice grill. We gotta ice grill people. We gotta show our how tough we are. But when even people that's doing good or even just being successful or whatever, we start to put a lot of pressure on ourselves that we could become unsatisfied or feel like we're not doing enough, or the stuff can be overwhelming and a lot of stuff that's going on. And I got like that a lot more after, especially my brother passing when I was younger. But then when I started my own business, it is a lot. And then you don't talk about it.
It's on your shoulders.
Yeah, you don't talk about it, right? Like, and then the Ellen Bull, the dancer.
Yeah. I forgot his name, but yeah, he's the DJ on the Ellen show.
Twitch or something.
Yeah. Yep.
And I remember watching that. Y'all, I remember watching it and crying, dog, like a little kid, because he's always happy. And you watch me, I'm always excited.
And he's with his family,
always dancing. And I'm like, wow. And then I remember people like, man, it was kind of a thing that people was like, hey, he just did it, man, because whatever the case, right? But me knowing that feelings like that do occur, I'm like, wow, he was really hurting. But then he probably couldn't talk to nobody. He was so, because how happy somebody can be, right? Mental health for everybody, but for men, knowing that we don't talk our problems out.
That's true.
Right? We don't have discussions with, oh, you all right?
With other men.
Yeah, you good? Like, not about the Eagles losing the Super Bowl, but like, yo, you good? Like, nah, man, I've been caught up, man. You know, this. And I never want somebody to be like, yo, Albert, you got this, because that's not what's the. Just like when he took his life, he had it all. No, he don't want nobody to tell him what he have. He knows it. It's just sometimes you just get caught up, man, and being in the funk sometimes of us is thinking that we got to do everything, and then knowing that we got to be at ease. You know what I mean? And understand everything ain't gonna go your way, or sometimes you gotta fall back. And I listen to a lot of podcasts now, more of mental. You know what I mean? To start getting my mental right, because. We got to invest in ourselves first, right? Like, I can invest in real estate all day. I ain't good to nobody if I don't invest in me.
That's
you know
so
what
true.
I mean? So
yeah, no, it's so true. I like so the podcast I Am Athlete.
Okay.
Yeah, I Am Athlete. It's with they used to have Doscinco on there and a bunch of others. But
Brandon
Marshall. They would give each other a rating, like how are you today, like from 1 to 10. 1 being like the worst, obviously 10 being, you know, you at your happiest, and they would literally rate each other, and then they would talk. So I like that. I like that you brought that up about men talking, because they do that on the show too.
No, I think it's extremely important. I got homies now that we do talk about situations, and it's not money. You know what I mean? Because you see guys like that, professional athletes and real successful people, and people lose their lives a lot of times just on the thing of sometimes they feel so lonely in a room full of people. You know what I mean?
Right.
And Manning, we was taught to be like you couldn't explain it, right? You can't talk about your problems, and it's sometimes it's only a small convo, like, yo, man, I got caught up with this, man. I got this going on, and you're like, all right, let's talk about it. Let's go out there, you know what I mean, for lunch, or just let's start breaking something down. That could be the easiest fix.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? But we gotta have those things.
You gotta have that
you
community.
Know what I mean? Especially, we out here always talking about getting money, going out, and I don't want to be in them groups.
Right.
Like people want to party, get drunk. I don't listen. I can't be in them groups because I gotta worry about my mental first, then my physical. You know what I mean? And then taking care of my family. Yeah.
How do you organize? Well, first of all, kudos to you that you acknowledge the whole mental part of it, because I think every man deals with it.
100%.
Rather we want to admit it or not, we all deal with those type of feelings,
Yeah.
especially if you come from the environments we came from.
Yeah.
The trauma that came out of that, we all affect, rather we realize it or not, we affected by it in some way.
Definitely, yeah.
But aside from that, so you managing all 26, 27, properties. You're also doing construction work on some properties as well, like rehab work on some as well.
Yeah.
And then you're purchasing. How are you organizing all of your time to do all of these different aspects of real estate?
Yeah, you go crazy. Yeah. So
that's probably why you in the funk.
Yeah.
Everything.
But now I got better. I'm getting better. I do a accountability
assessment
group. Nah, we got like 4 of us. I had it last night actually, that's a great thing too, because everybody holds each other accountable for things. And that was one of my goals. We was writing down, just hiring out. You know what I mean? Like this year, I just found a great contractor, which before I used to do, me and my pops was doing all the properties, but then we just buy one at a time. But now I'm buying, last week I bought 5 or 6. You know what I mean? Like we buying a group, which is good, because you can't scale your business if you doing all the work. Then I'm just creating another job, right?
Yeah.
If I got to be there, I'm creating another job for me, which that's what I'm trying to get away from. So getting more contractors, you know what I mean? I got a solid one. I got partners, which I got great partners, which they handle a lot of work. You know what I mean? We both can go back and forth. Like, all right, you got this, I got this, which it takes a lot of stress out. And I was just telling my wife, like, I'm going to get an assistant too and start hiring out, because I want to grow. You know what I mean? And I want to continue to scale. And I can't continue to pick up every phone call if it's not as important. Like I want somebody to intercept it before it come to me. It came to, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I got to make a decision.
They filtered it out for you.
Yeah, because I want to do things that I'm real good at. You know what I mean? Networking, talking to people. You know what I mean? Going to see properties. I love going to these properties. I love being in Camden. I love talking to my people. But I don't like picking on the phone call, talking to the city. I gotta let that. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't. If it's a toilet leaking, I don't need to pick that. I need you to call my contractor. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm gonna write down what I want, what I like to do, and what I hate to do, and see which, you know what I mean, what I can hire out.
I love that. Yeah, and that's the way you build your organizational
Exactly.
structure and everything. When you build your team.
Because and we all know, I got better with partnerships because I don't care how big I want. I can't do this by myself. It's impossible. I can't be there everywhere. I can't be everywhere. So when I start realizing that, my business started taking off. You know what I mean? So I started being like, you know what? Even if you got to pay out, that money comes a lot more quicker. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You pay that, but you flexible. Now you can do a little more.
I can buy more back your time.
Exactly. I love that.
How it all come back around.
Yep. You got it, because my time is worth way more than what it used to worth. You know what I mean? Yep. So now I need more of my time.
I love it.
I don't mind giving my money for my time.
Right. What would you say if somebody was starting out, right? They working a 9-to-5 right now, and let's just say they don't really have a savings, or their money's kind of like spread out like crazy right now. What would you say to somebody that wants to be in your footsteps one day? You know, they want to dive into real estate. They just don't have the means right now.
So it's weird to say that. It's because if you don't have the means, that means you're doing something wrong.
Okay.
Right? Work on that first. Right? Because Because as an investor, you got to be good with saving, right? You got to be, if you broke and you make good money, or even if you have real estate is the worst thing to get into. Not anything is the worst thing to get into because you don't know how to manage money yet. Right? You can't open no business if you can't even take care of your livelihood, your family. You know, that's what people want. Oh, man, I need another source of income. And they always broke. You like, well, let's work on that. Let's work on that first. Yeah. Let's work on savings. Let's work on stop spending the money on everything that shines and glitters, and understand what are you doing it for. If you can't be able to save X amount of money coming in, that's like the rich dad, poor dad, investing, you know what I mean? Pay yourself first, meaning have money that you're able to save to invest in things that you want to do. But if you getting caught up and you always broke, let's work on that first. Okay. Let's find out how can you take money to put away. If you can, 10%, 5% in the beginning, 20%, and then start, then educating yourself. Me, podcasts. Okay. Podcasts like this. You know what I mean? We talking like, I was listening to podcasts, people that sound like me, talking about they got rental properties. I'm like, oh, okay. They working. I can work, right? Right. Audio books. I was a truck driver, so I never had time to read, but I had you can put an earpiece. It's called a headphone. Yeah. People could put it in your ear, just like how we listen to the new Drake album, how we listen to Future album. Yeah. Why can't we listen to an audio book, and by the time we done that, we more smarter than what we was when we did. But we listened to it. Drake, everybody know every word. So true. But you can't listen to a nice book that's going to educate yourself. But by the time you finish that, you're going ready to attack. You know what I mean? Like that's different. You know what I mean? Now when I started using that was huge for me. That was a game changer because I was listening to people in podcasts and then listening to audiobooks. Then by the time I was done, I'm like, oh, I can do this. Oh, I didn't know I was able to do this. Oh, I didn't know I could go to the bank and ask for this. I was, you know what I mean? So when people talking like how we talking and giving good value, but people want to be listening to the new album and come on, y'all. Yeah, you dumbing yourself down. Yeah. Listening. I mean, it's a time and a place for everything. Exactly. Right? What we doing? Like, and that's it. Like, dumb yourself. Every year we should be smarter. Absolutely. If you listen, you got 3 albums, you know every word. You either did not get smarter, y'all. Like listen to an audio book, listen to a podcast, listen to my man podcast, because anything time you listen to something is gonna benefit yourself, meaning your mental, your mind. You learning something. You able to use whatever you learn out in the real world. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to listen to somebody that's living in a mansion with Ferrari doors. Like you ain't living that life. Right, exactly. You know what I mean? I want to listen to a local kid that bought rental properties in his own. And they killing it. Yeah, in his own backyard. You know what I mean? Literally, like all my hood, like out of just 2 of my properties, like 95% of my properties in Camden. Wow. Like my hood. Like I'm the local kid that bought, like I just bought one on my block. I got one on my block, one around the corner, one on the other corner, on the 2 blocks on this. And I be in my own, because I be in my own bag sometimes. I be like, man, I be sitting on the step. I'm like, damn. I remember running through here. I would never thought that I'd be buying. I'm buying. And everybody from my city knows. And and like I said, there is hate. And I don't know who would hate. Right. But that's just common. It's going to come with success. But I get love, man. I get love. People pull up on me, yo, Al, man, that's what's up. And like I said, if I know I can change a couple people mindset that I grew up with, or even that looks like me, or just being in the same situation that I was in, it's priceless to me. Though. What do you think about? Because I love what you said, right? You buying back your neighborhood. You know, you're investing in your childhood. You know what your childhood was like. Yep. You know what I mean, you buying it all up, right? What do you think? You know, there's been circumstances. Obviously, you're not to that status with regards to celebrity, but you had the Nipsey Hussles of the world that were trying to go back into the community and build it up and things of that sort. Do you sometimes have those feelings that, yo, I'm too much in my old neighborhood, maybe somebody going to eventually hate, or somebody's going to try? Like, do you think about that sometimes? Yes, I do. I do, because it's still the hood, right? Like, it's sad that stuff like that with the Nipsey and the Young Dolph and all that, like, things like that do happen, and it's a bad thing, but it's hard. Like, cause my lady would be like, "Oh man, you know, everybody know you now, and they probably think you got money." But And I'm like, man, I get that. But I can't leave. Like, I'm not saying I'm out here on the corner at 9 o'clock at night. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I want to give back to my people, because if I was a kid growing up there,
You want to see that?
yeah, I didn't like we had a conversation earlier. You was like, you know anybody that did real estate? Nah, but I knew everybody that sold drugs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was a common thing to do. But then now if you see a common dude like me buying houses and doing the right thing, I could start changing some of that narrative. You know what I mean? I could start changing. So it's a hard line to think, like, all right, well, and I had a dude from North Jersey. He came, he recorded me for free. He was like, yo, I want to talk real estate. But he looked at me like I was a crazy celebrity. And I'm like, he was like, yo, Al, man, you walking around like it's nothing. You just out here talking to people. I'm like, oh, I'm from the city. I'm from out here.
Regular
You know what I
dude,
mean?
right?
But he was
Like
like, nah,
you.
but yeah, that's exactly what I was. But the buzz, I'm like, look, dog, like, I get it. And I am aware, right? I am definitely aware. In Camden, you know, it's like Badlands and Norfolk,
Yep.
West, Philly, whatever, any hood, right? I just feel like I need to do it for my people. You know what I mean? Just like if I can show the positive way, the love. Like I never had hate in my hood. Like me personally, I don't got no beef with people. Got beef with me. I don't know nothing about it. 'Cause
Right.
I never had.
You stay in your lane.
I stay in my lane. I got mad respect for people. But I know that just how it's bad people, there's a lot of good people that's bad, but got good hearts and know that, you know what I mean, my stuff is genuine. You know what I mean? I'm out here to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? So
That's dope, man. You continue to be an inspiration for them, man. What's the ultimate goal? Do you have a number, so to speak? Number of properties, number of money,
nah,
dollar amount.
cause it's like this, right? Let's say I say I'm buying 50, and then you come with a 51 did, like, I'm like, all right, yeah, let me get that.
Right,
So it's
right,
never,
right.
because, you know, as hustlers, there's like a Walmart, right? A Wawa.
Yep.
Somebody that built Wawa was a great Wawa. They built 10 more. Oh, are we done here? It's not that. They just hustlers, right? Like, and I know I got that. There's no number. There's just more systems, running better
Gotcha.
systems, right? So I want to buy more houses, but I want better systems. I want to put more people around me, good people around me, continue to build. But, which I said earlier, don't put as much stress on myself. Start navigating, like, all right, well, I want this person running this person running this, but I still want to continue to buy.
Right.
But more time, just having more time now, because the more, you know, people, money ain't everything. We know that for a fact.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'd rather have my life, my kids' life, my family before I have any of this. But it do help. You know what I mean? It takes away stress.
Yep.
We ain't stressing about the small things. Car break down, we can fix it.
Yep.
Want to take a vacation, we can book it. Parents need something, we got them. Kids need something, so money do help.
Yeah.
So me trying to find that and break, you know what I mean, separate that. I'm here to make money, but I'm also here to do the right thing and be a inspiration for my hood, and I always be an asset to my community, and at the same time, take care of my family by doing both.
Man, you a legend out here, brother. I appreciate that, man.
I appreciate that.
Listen, how can people connect with you on social media?
Social media is Al Camden Reynolds, man. Like I'm extremely I'm always a happy person, right? People like, yeah, your energy is always dope, right? Because it is. I'm happy, right? I like growing up in these bad situations and knowing that I was able to stay successful and continue to strive to be going on the right path. I'm always happy. So you follow me on Al Camden Reynolds. Just understand when you do watch it, you're gonna get hyped.
Right.
I'm gonna make you want to believe, right? Because we here to show that we can do it too. I'm an example. Like, and I don't know it all. Like, I'm just still learning. I'm still a student. So Al Camden Reynolds, Instagram, Facebook, Gmail, Al Camden Reynolds, all through your platform. That's where I'm at.
I love it, man.
You know what I mean?
Let me tell you something. If you in the trenches right now and you're in your room and you don't see a way out, just know that Alex is one of those individuals that's an inspiration, right? He's one of those individuals where he graduated from high school, first person in his family to do so, started working a 9-to-5, realized that wasn't it for him, wanted to buy back more of his time so he could spend time with his family and build a future. And then he looked towards real estate, which nobody was able to look to within his family because he had nowhere to look, as far as that for the education. And he made a way by asking questions, going to the bank, finding out how he qualifies for specific loans and things of that sort. For him to grow, to grow his investment portfolio to over 20 properties. About 26, 27. And it's probably going to be 100 by next year.
100%.
So overall, you are inspiration, my friend. Keep on doing what you're doing. And for those that are looking for a way out, this is your guy.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. And salute to you, brother.
Appreciate
salute to you,
brother.
Man, having me and always giving out good information too. You know what I'm saying? Because our community need individuals like this, right? Because like I said, somebody that get a pack, you know what I mean, can show somebody how to sell drugs, but we can't show them to do this, do the right thing. So
I love it,
shout out to you, brother.
Appreciate you, man. Listen, we got planes to catch. We ain't got time for the nonsense.
Yep.